Clients that betray you, pull the rug out from underneath you, leave you flat on your face, and you're wondering, what the hell did I do wrong? This is the ugly part of the business that nobody talks to you about. They don't tell you to be ready to be let down. And if you're as naive as I am and you want to trust people and hope that they're going to follow through and, stick with you, get ready to be surprised. Because guess what? This is the ugly part of the business nobody tells you about. I'm Brian, your Realtor Mentor. Follow my videos, stay to the end, give me a comment, or DM me on the side. This is a great story. You have to hear it to the end because you're not going to believe what happens. I meet client X 58 days ago, to be exact, looking for an apartment in Burlington area. They want to be closer to St. Catharines because that's where the wife works, and she doesn't want to commute as much. They sign up, we set up the profile, we set up the search, we tweak it, then we tweak it again, we go and see properties. We see multiple properties, like 15. And if I didn't mention, this was for a lease. So a little bit more driving than I was expecting and anticipating. So we were doing this now for probably about 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3 properties at a time, going out, checking them out, and then, not hitting the sweet spot with them. 2 weeks ago, I found a property, or the system did, and sent it to them. And they really liked the building. So Mr. and Mrs. Client X noticed that there was some more properties online that weren't being posted by any real estate people, but it was being done publicly by the property management group. They mentioned the address to me, and then somewhere in the back of my head, I was saying to myself, I know that address. There's something about it. But there was like 8 or 9 properties that were available. I go, that's kind of high. Vacancy rate in Burlington and Oakville is not that high for each building. The only time that occurs is when it's brand new. But this building looks like it's been built in the 70s. And, one of those ones that have the huge footprint in them. And the apartments are massive, not like the way they're building them now. So I say to Mrs. Client X, listen, let me look into it, and I'm going to get back to you. But there's something about that building kind of makes me wonder what's going on. It's an older building. There's 8, 9 properties available in there. And it just seems kind of odd. But anyways, I said, let me look into it, and I'll get back to you. Anyways, it was a quick search, and when I went to go look it up, I recognized the building right away, and I said to myself, oh my God, this is the building that has the problem with the pollution that comes from the lake, or not from the lake, but from the metal factories that are being producing over it. They used to call them Stelco, DeFasco, and they're known for their smelting. Vacancy is high in the building because they can't keep the tenants. They just can't stick with the smell that's coming from there, especially at night and in the summertime. Also, there's a little bit of a powder residue that keeps popping up in the middle of the night, and it sort of like coats the cars. And I'm not sure if the city or the government knows anything about it. Well, they must know because people are complaining. But people just can't stand living there long enough that they move out, and that's why the vacancy is so high. Anyways, I call them, leave messages, I email them, I text them, I call them, I message them, and they still don't respond. So this is the thing that we call in this business ghosting. You do everything you can to help people, but you know what happens? They backdoor you. They decide they're going to go and try to, negotiate a better deal. And, they feel much better about themselves because they're able to save $50 or $100. But you know what? This building offers like a tremendous amount of perks. $1,000 kickback, 1 month free, I guess depending on what side of the building you are and how much smell you have to endure. But they offer all kinds of incentives. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful building. There's a lot of good amenities in there, but it's just like too much stuff being given away. And it makes you wonder, why are they doing that? For obvious reasons, because of the pollution and the smell that's coming off of the smelting plants. So they don't call me back. I give up 3 days later. I said to myself, you know what? They want to call me back. Don't call me back. Well, you're not going to believe what happens. I get an email this morning, and Mr. and Mrs. X, a little bit older, not technically savvy with the computers, Mrs. X sends me an email, and there's nothing in it. I decide, that's odd. Let me give her a call. But that's nice that they're calling me back. Maybe they're ready to start looking again. I call her up. She apologized for the email. I said, oh, don't worry. It's not a big deal. That's why I'm calling you, just to let you know that I didn't get the message that you sent me. She goes, kind of like with a shaky voice, she says to me, oh, I just wanted to say thank you for your help. We really appreciated your professionalism and all the wonderful things that you did and being so patient with us. But I just wanted to tell you, we got a place. And I went, you got a place? There's the letdown. What place? I stop. I go, don't tell me. The building on North Shore? She goes, yes. How did you know? I go, are you kidding me? You forget? You told me about the building after you saw it from my email. I go, didn't you get my messages? I was trying to get a hold of you. I wanted you to warn you off of that building. Now she's quiet and she said to me, warn me? I go, yeah, the reason why the vacancy is so high in that building, that there were so many apartments available, was because they're having a hard time keeping people in the building because of the pollution probably coming from the smelting plant, probably the powder that's being left on top of the cars. I said, I was trying to get a hold of you for 3 days and you guys didn't return my call. Now this is where the oh my God comes in. And she's like in shock. I went, geez, Mrs. X, I tried. She goes, I thought everything was okay with that building. I said to her, I didn't say it was okay. I just said, give me some time. I was going to go research it and get back to you and give you some information for you and your husband. Well, guess what? It blew up in their face. I tried to do the best that I could, try to give them good service, try to show them I was reliable and that I was going to give them some good feedback or information about the property, and they decided to move on without me. You know, all that time, work, and effort, you know, the professionalism, the level of sincerity, I tried to do everything I could to make sure that they found the right place, and they decided they wanted to do it on their own. This is the ugly part of the business, that, you know what, you don't know how to deal with it, or you don't know what to expect, and it happens. But you know what, you got to roll with the punches, and you know what, it happens a lot, and you're gonna be disappointed a lot of times. Anyways, that's it. That's the story. I'm Brian, your realtor mentor. Please follow me. I would really appreciate it, and I would really appreciate a comment or DM me on the side. Brian, your realtor mentor, and I look forward to hearing from you.